Alright, this is the 25th day of February 2017. And for the reason that, just for the convenience of doing it right now, because I had an opportunity to do it, I got a package of Terrasoul superfoods. It says here, mineral enriched, minerals emulsifier antioxidants. Iris moss, wild crafted, natural nutrient dense, non-GMO verified. Okay. And my friend was gracious enough to give me a package of this. So I'm sure there's better out there. This is what she got for me. And you got two different types of sea moss. You got the Irish moss, which is good for flushing the system out. If you're doing some sort of detox and you want to clean out your cells, the beautiful thing about the Irish moss, it penetrates the cell membrane wall. It gets inside and it does the work that needs to be done inside of the cell. So the Irish moss causes osmosis. It absorbs the water. And right now I'm going to use this water. I'm using Deer Park. I use 1 bottle of Deer Park spring water I put in here. And then I'm going to use some filtered water. And I'm going to rinse it with some just regular top. Which if you're going to avoid that, avoid it. If I had some distilled water, like a gallon of distilled water, just for cleaning purposes, I would use the distilled water just for, to save money. You can get a distilled water at the Safeway for about $1.50 or $1. Sometimes on sale, you can get a whole gallon. And I just want to show you what the moss looks like when you open up the airtight seal. It looks like seaweed. Basically, that's what it is. It's a type of seaweed. It grows on the shorelines and whatnot. Then I'm going to put it in this water first to rinse the sand off of it because it tends to collect sand. That's enough. That little bit right there is going to expand in this big crock pot. I'm not going to boil it or anything. I'm going to just put it in the crock pot and let it sit overnight in water. We'll put it in this crock pot. You see how big that crock pot is? That's at least a gallon of crock pot. You put a gallon of water, maybe 2 gallons of water in that crock pot. Maybe a gallon and a half. This sea moss is really depleted of water right now. It's dried out somewhat. It still has some water in it, but it's dried out. What the sea moss does, it absorbs 200 times its weight in water. It's like I'm putting it in this water right now. It's already beginning to expand than when it was in here. You can actually look at it right now and see how tight that is down in there, maybe. And I just put this in the water and it's already beginning to expand. Since I put it in the water about 30 seconds ago. After about 2 minutes, you really be able to see that it's starting to expand. You can actually see the tentacles of the weed moving as it absorbs the water. As it absorbs the water, it's causing osmosis to take place, and it's causing the water to be, it's restructuring the water back to its a state, let me put it this way, not necessarily natural state. Yes, it's a natural state, but it's taking it to a state where it can be most beneficial as to what the plant is trying to do with the water or the water molecules and the nutrients. For it best to be utilized in the cells of the plant, it changes the structure of the water. This is what I was trying to explain to my family members, is that when the water enters our atmosphere, it automatically becomes polluted. We do things to it, like running through pipes and through our sewer systems, that further pollutes the water. It does not. It changes the structure of the water, because the water has to do different things to combat the negative uh, particles of toxins that are entering into it, to combat what that is, or to deal with the environment that it's in. So as this plant absorbs this water, it is changing the structure of the water. It changes the structure of the water to a what they call, what is it, exclusion zone state. It puts it in an exclusion zone state, and it changes it from H2O to H3O2. H3O2 meaning 3 parts hydrogen, 2 parts oxygen. H2O is 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen. I think that's how it goes. Bottom line is, because I'm not a scientist, the bottom line is that it has more hydrating capabilities when penetrating the cell wall barrier. Once it enters the cells, that's what you need to know. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just cleaning the sand out of the sea moss. There's sand inside the sea moss. Let me put this over here for a second. In my family, I gotta do stuff so that they can visualize, because they're under my control. I have to do stuff for my family so they can see it, and hopefully within 24 months, that's 2 years, my brother, they will overcome their egotistical self-centeredness and accept the fact that I actually schooled them to what they need to know as far as this goes. And I want people who don't know me to just know, because you don't have that family kin tie of competition and trying to be right about something when, it makes no difference whether you're really right or wrong. It's just that, oh, this is my brother, or this is my son, or this is my cousin, so I have to overstand that individual and prove them wrong some kind of way. I'm just dealing with pure science. There's no ego in it. It's just love. That's all it is. All it is love. But it actually takes 24 months for a self-fulfilled individual to come to grips with the fact that, oh, maybe there is a way to achieve H3O state in water. It's not my discovery. It's not my creation. I'm not the brainiac scientist who figured all this out. From my understanding, it comes from ancient Kemet and places like that, where they just, understood nature. These are the things that where you can, in our polluted environment, you can still achieve natural water nutrients through plant life. I was told by someone close to me and my family that you cannot achieve this. Apparently, that's not true. Apparently, you can achieve it. And this is not the only way to achieve it. this is just one way, and this is one of the best ways because sea moss apparently contains 132 minerals that the body needs, that the human body needs. It already contains 130 out of 132 that we need. This contains like 120, somewhere in there, 122. So it's basically short of only about 10 minerals of the needed minerals that the human body has to have. So you're getting a whole lot of benefit by the sea moss. Now there's another type of sea moss. This is for, the Irish moss, I'm told, will help you for weight loss. It'll help you for clearing the blood cells, cleaning out the cells. It'll it helps with your skin. It helps with your hair growth. It's great for your skin. I'm getting all these benefits, by the way. I'm not talking about something that I'm not experiencing, okay? That I haven't tried myself. I don't talk about things that I don't do for myself. So now I'm going to put this spring water inside of the crock pot. I'm sorry that I have to, well, no, I'm never sorry, but forgive me for having to, give that spiel about, family and friends, but this is what a brother goes through out here, just trying to get off of base one. See, there's a lot, but I can't even get off of step one. It's a 12-step process, right? That's what they say in NA, right? In AA. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if we was in the NA or the AA in my family, I can't even get off step one. I can't even get off the first step with my folks, my closest folk, right? Because they on some jive turkey time. They like to hear themselves talk. Nobody's really listening. Everything's a joke until an individual gets sick, until it's time for somebody's funeral. And I ain't knocking none of that because I might be next. But the point that I'm making, before I check out, all I want to let you know is that, there's some things that you can do, loved ones, to better yourself. So, now I'm rinsing this out in spring water. I got it over in the spring water, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'm going to do is, I know I'm sounding like Bertie Mac right now, but what I'm going to do is, it's not really me. I'm really making this video for my folks. Making this video for my folk. So for 2 years, because I just said what I said, nobody in my family is going to try this, because it's me saying it. You see where we at in life? You see where we have arrived. It's going to take 24 months. But instead of 24 months coming back and saying, you know what, brother, you was right. I discovered this. I tried what you said, try, man, and I looked into it and I found out that, he actually right about that. It's not about me being right. You know what I'm saying? So in 24 months, bro, you can come back and say, you know what? I discovered something called sea moss. And man, you need to try it, bro. You can tell me the same thing I'm telling you right now, and I'm cool with that. And I'm going to pretend like I never even told you. I'm going to pretend like I never even said it to you. Okay? It's some fake news right now. This is fake news right here. Don't believe the hype. It's sea moss, right? How do you know it's organic? How do you know that it's not made in a lab? How do you know that the Cracker Jack ain't got to it? When you take it out of here, here's an indication. You never really know, but here's an indication. You got sand in the water now. That's an indication that it just came out of the sea. It came out of the sea. So you got to rinse it off first. You got to, put it in the water, wring it out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run sink water over it. That's not necessarily a great idea because the sink got all kinds of pollutants in it. They putting all kinds of pharmaceuticals, waste in the public water system. They putting fluoride, poison in the water system. None of that stuff is good for you. So, but just to make sure all the sand is out, I'm doing this way right now. Right? Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get the sea moss over in this crock pot. You can put it in a regular bowl like this one overnight. You know, basically you only need to make sure it's all covered in water. I'm using spring water. This Deer Park spring water, which is not an alkaline water, by the way. Just because it's spring water don't mean that it's alkaline. It's not alkaline. And there's a lot of stuff when it comes to alkalinity anyway, but that's not for today. People thinking just because they're using alkaline water that they really doing something. And that's some old stuff I was on. I've been messing with water, like I told my brother, I've been messing with water for over darn near 30 years, man. Know what I'm saying? Water and marijuana. But I wasn't smoking the marijuana, I was chewing the marijuana. And even if I was smoking it, now it's legal. So, boom. Marijuana is one of the most magnificent herbs on planet Earth. If not the top reigning herb on planet Earth. Sea moss is probably, and seaweed are the #1 plant life in the ocean, in the water. So there we go. I'm going to leave that in there for a day. This time tomorrow I'm going to come back and we're going to make another video to show y'all how to use the blender to blend up the sea moss. It blends into like a gel. You could blend it into almost like a applesauce type of texture that it will have. A lot of people blend it all the way into like a paste or a gel. And then it's also used in soups to thicken up soup and different dishes, like if you're making a pudding or something like that, you can use the sea moss. The sea moss is great. The sea moss is one of the most beneficial plant life on planet Earth. Look into the sea moss. There's plenty of information online about it. You ain't got to follow. All I'm saying is, you know, just look into it for yourself. This is what I do. This is what I do. You know, some people went to the NBA and basketball all season long. You know what I'm saying? I don't sit up and watch basketball all season long. I only watch it during the playoffs. You know, and I'm not saying I'm wasting time or they wasting time. All I'm saying is it don't really interest me. I always been into nature. I always been into stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been doing the spring water for over 30 years. Since Avion broke out with the bottled spring water back in the day. I was the one walking around with the big, tall, giant bottle of Avion spring water about as tall as this. Walking around chewing on marijuana. Chewing on natural smoke. Not no synthetic shit. No. So now I'm going to have to make a whole new video for just people in general, for the active public. Once I do this one more time, this right here, exclusively for my family. If you get it as a friend or associate or someone who you don't really know me, you just catch it on YouTube maybe. Somebody might post it up. You know, just remember this wasn't for you. I was going to make another version for y'all. This is for my family because I'm trying to say a whole lot in just 20 minutes. Thank you, family. I love y'all. This is not for everybody. I want to say that to everybody. You know, everybody's supposed to be what I say. You know, do your own research. Just find out your information. And burn again. I got scalp issues back here. My cousin cut my hair back that day. That's my scalp. I love him, but I don't really mess with him. You know what I'm saying? I had to deal with that all year. That's trauma. No, you ain't got to suffer through that. Whatever the other thing you was talking to me about, you ain't got to suffer that either. Just get with me, man, and we'll work that out too. You know what I'm saying? Right about now, this Pete, baby, over.